The last thing you want to hear when you need your auto insurance most is a robot with countless irrelevant menu options. Which is why with USAA Auto Insurance, you'll get great service that is easy and reliable, all at the touch of a button. Get a quote today. Restrictions apply.
USAA.
Hilton brings you new ways to stay. With experiences that let you capture the glory days. Introducing the Graduate Hotels. Each inspired by local college towns, these stays are always original and never boring. Get in touch with traditions all across the country and enjoy a stay that's a class above the rest. Book at Graduate Hotels with Hilton Honors Points at Hilton.com. It's a win-win. Hilton, for the stay.
Halliday presents, in the red corner, the undisputed, undefeated Weed Whacker Guy. Champion of hurling grass and pollen everywhere. And in the blue corner, the challenger, extra strength Halliday. Eye drops that work all day to prevent the release of histamines that cause itchy allergy eyes. And the winner by knockout is Halliday. Halliday, bring it on.
From the Fifth Quarter Studio in Madison, Wisconsin, you're listening to the Rule of Three Offense Podcast. Here's our host, Steve Collins.
Hey, everybody. Today, welcome to the podcast. Today, we're going to talk about the cutter actions. Last week, we talked about the passing actions, right? When you pass, you cut, you pick, you read, you pop. So we talked about that last week with the passer specific actions. This week, we're going to talk about the cutter actions. So someone's coming down to set a screen on me. What are the three? Again, rule of three, keeping it simple. The rule of three, what are the three things that he can do? All right, he can slice. I refer to it as slice. You can slice to the basket. So it's kind of jab high and then go low. All right, so slice back door to the basket. That's the first thing you can do. We can curl off it. So if someone's chasing you or going behind, you can curl. Or number three, you can fade or cut high, right? And look for the three-pointer. Now, one of the key components that we do with cutters, and especially when we're beginning to teach this, doesn't matter what offense. So if you're not running the rule of three offense, which you should be, but if you're not, I initially make the cutter stop. Okay, so imagine the screener coming up and setting the screen on the defender. I make the screener is facing. As you're looking at them to the left, the person coming off the screen, so that would be their left shoulder. All right. The cutter coming off the screen will run off. All right. And they'll be facing the opposite direction, but they should stop. And I usually do it for a 2 count at that point. That way, if they're behind, I'm going to curl. If they're cheating high, you go back door, you slice back door. If they're kind of behind the screen, you fade, you cut, you take one step, you look, you take a step back, and then you fade high for the three-pointer. So that pausing slows them, because first of all, think about all the screens that you see, right? There's like 16 miles between the screener and the so we make them literally touch shoulders. Okay. The left shoulder facing one direction, the left shoulder of the cutter facing the other direction, we make them stop. So they're facing opposite directions, but their left shoulders are touching, and we make them stop for a 3 count. Now, the progression for our teaching skill is we'll call out specific cuts that we want. Well, we'll slice, or we'll curl, and we'll make them stop and then do that specific one. Eventually, we want them to learn to do those reads on their own, to be able to know that, oh, wait, I got to do this in this specific one. No, I got to slice. No, I got to curl. He's cheating. I've hit a couple threes. Now he's cheating. I'm just going to curl and get a layup or get fouled and go to the free throw line. So those the cutter coming off the screen. First of all, last week we were talking about the passer and then setting the screen. working on the distance, on the setting it up. While the cutter, it's going to be really important on the cutter to teach them the reads first of all, and to teach them to slow and stop the second of all, and then to, you know, what do we want on the screen, because those reads are difficult things. So slice, curl, cut high. Hope this helps. Next week, we'll go into the weak side action, and then we'll eventually get to the zone action and some other ones. As you can hear the dog, someone just came home, so I'm going to end the podcast. Bye, everybody.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
When your company earns unlimited 2% cash back on all purchases with Capital One, that's serious business. So Stephen at SandCloud got a serious business card, the Spark Cash Plus card from Capital One.
We used our 2% cash back to help build our retail presence.
Savvy, Stephen.
And we get big purchasing power, so our business can spend more and earn more.
The Spark Cash Plus card from Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms and conditions apply. Find out more at CapitalOne.com/SparkCashPlus.